you get a 50% discount. That's half the price, right? This show has been really nice to us. We've been here for months. So just send interested if you want to attend, right? Both as an individual or your team, to the number 080. It's just for the first 5 people that get that discount. So fastest fingers. If you want to attend, just say interested to the number 080 35202891. And then you get to meet 080 35202891. I mean, like you said, PBN is a referral only. I haven't used any of my referral slots. So if you're coming and we find it interesting and exciting enough, right, and you meet the metrics, we'll be willing to refer you. And what Ada said was really powerful, because you want people to refer you. It's very logical. You can just go to their Instagram handle. Am I giving out hacks here? Send a DM to somebody who you think is a member and say, oh, would you be willing to refer me? And that someone told the story of Civic Center and the boat club in Civic Center and how it started. And it was the most amazing story I heard. I just heard the story yesterday. I mean, some very interesting guys about, this is Jim Ovia.
Oh, wow.
Needed to get into boat club. Ikoyi boat club, and someone needed to refer him.
Yeah.
Like, this is like someone has to refer you. Like, what's this? I beg. I beg. I said, I beg. Let me go and create my own boat club. What's that one? And of course, that's shout out to, today we have a boat club at the Civic Center, the back center. That's why it's by the water. But you see, and that's something to learn from, right? Life is a dinner table. Life is dinner time. You're either on the table or you're in the menu. Life is about dinner.
You either eat or be eaten.
Eat or be eaten. Right.
That's a very strong one today. I'm just trying to raise my money up so I can join the boat club too.
Or you can join PBN, Premium Business Network.
That'd be fantastic.
We had a blast. You going to talk about it this Christmas?
What happened? What happened this Christmas?
So we had our end of year events. It started with a breakfast session.
It was a 3-day event.
Yes, a breakfast session on Saturday at Lagos Continental Hotel. We also had the gala the next day. Gala and awards night, where all our members flew in from across different parts of the world. It was so beautiful. And on the Monday morning / afternoon, we had a big
guys know how to chop life. Who goes on a boat cruise on a Monday morning?
CEOs, co-founders were shaking their butt.
So business people party too?
Yeah.
We work hard and play hard.
That's really cool. All right, so let's get back. Remember, this is the business show. And this show today is a special for PBN. Is a PBN special. We're looking at 2023 goals, growth, and company partnership to scale. Now, you can be a part of this conversation if you want to get into the studio. Plus, you might just be one of the winners. We just got someone who won 70,000 naira brunch with great minds. I mean, great minds who have been in this business for a very long time. So if you want to be a part of it, please do call us on 081-8242-6591 or 081-800-89933. Good morning.
Xavier is a business and management consultant firm with over 128 businesses restructured, 200 and more businesses started, 2 MBAs, a decade of experience. We can take your business to a whole new level.
The Business Show with Hexavian. It's the business clinic on radio. Come, learn and solve problems around strategy and structure. Growing your business. Join Eizu, Daisy and Essay every Thursday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Hot 93.3.
So if you're just tuning in, you've missed out on like 33 minutes of greatness in the studio this morning. I have 4 wonderful people. I have Eizu. Eizu, good morning once again. I have Gift. I have Ada and Abimbola. Abimbola is in the field that I studied, so that was why I was quite interested in it. Yes, I'm a pharmacist.
Really?
I graduated.
Like, you should be selling drugs.
Yeah.
You should be selling
pharmacist
and they
already.
have Alice. So that makes it really cool.
As men of honor,
we join hands. Yes. And all right, so we have so much to talk about, so many questions, by the way. So let's get back to the business of the day. What's that one word or phrase you use to summarize your growth path?
Do I start?
Yes, please.
Do you want to start?
As a person?
Yes, as a person. As a person.
So for me as a person,
One word.
it's can do.
Can do.
That's 2 words. How did you pass from a
See the hyphen
2
in
words.
between.
Word.
and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah. What do you call that? Compound words. The phrase,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't mind me.
All right.
Well, can do. Oh, it's deep.
Yeah. I like it.
1 word, and I've lived my life based on this 1 word: intentionality.
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 Okay.
Intentionality.
All right. Gift. Are we there yet? Not yet.
No.
Okay. Ada, are we there yet?
This is a hard one. I
Yeah?
don't know. Bruh, I can't find a word.
You can't find a
I
word.
can't find a word.
But should we allow
But
you to simmer
yes,
a
give me
little
some
bit?
time.
All right. Ada, how about you? You need some time as well?
Gift.
We'll circle back.
All right. So,
Let's go back.
okay, so what made you consider joining a community? Did someone talk to you?
Okay. You want-
Oh, okay. Personally, nobody had to preach that gospel. So I spent the longer part of my life in isolation. So I thought staying by myself, doing the work would, set me up for success.
Yeah.
And then I discovered that the person I needed to talk to get what I actually wanted was another human being or 2 other persons away. And then by the time I started studying or taking a closer look at communities and the example Eizu used, the people that make X amount of money versus the other kind of money, what's the difference? What do they do differently? What do they do special? And I saw that community was the hack. So I had to put my head somewhere. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. Anybody has any other thing to add? Why they joined the community? Did you get inspired by someone or someone just whispered something?
Okay, someone I respect a lot actually mentioned it to me, Chisom, and she had worked with me
Okay.
and thought, oh, she respects me a lot, join this group. And when she mentioned a few people that were there, I admired them. I'm like, oh, you know what? Entrepreneurship can be lonely. It can be isolating. You can, overthink and just get into a rut. Join people that are in it. They're not talking it, they're walking the talk. And there are people in PBN that maybe their business is making like $1 million a day or $1 billion a day. It doesn't matter. You are in it, you're doing it, there's something to learn from you. So that perspective really made me join, and I really dived in immediately.
Nice. All right. So now, do you have a technique for your growth implementation?
Technique?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pardon me. I like templates. So anything that has a framework, and mathematics is about formulas. If you know the formula, you get the answer. You don't know the formula, you read my rule.
But
You have extra
sometimes
shit.
we get the answer. We don't know the
That's
way around
That's
that.
copied assignment. That's copied assignment. You cannot explain it.
explain it.
You can't explain it. But I figured out that the fundamental elements that define the quality of your life is the people you surround yourself with and the quality of engagement you have with them. So, for example, I like formulas. So one of the things I like to do when I want to plan is what I call the be, do, have. Right? So I'll just give you a practical example. How I'm going to live 2023. There are 7 wheels of my life. That's a formula. To know that my whole life is not that scattered. There are only 7 parts of my life. If you're not part of that 7 parts, I'm sorry, I'm not going to spend time. What's that 7 part? Health, spirituality, family, friends, my personal development, my finance, and my business. That's how I've looked at my life.
How
And
do
then-
you separate your
Right.
finances from your business?
business, the personal finance and your business growth. Like as entrepreneurs, it's really important that you don't mix these 2 things.
Yeah.
Your personal money is not your company money. Before you go to club and you be using your corporate account to buy Eizu, right? I didn't say Azu, I said Eizu. right. But here's the thing, right? So that's formula to say there are 7 rules of my life. I prioritize those things, right? And so, for example, I actually know the ones that are more important out of the whole 7, right? And then the one that follows next and the one that follows next. So practically, if anything's going to affect that, then you can now plan all the things you want to do for each of those things. For example, my health. I must do my 10,000 walk. We did the PBN challenge with the 10,000 walk.
Yeah.
Not 10,000 walk. It was the
Push-up challenge.
There was a push-up challenge that was reduce the distance, but calorie burn. So my diet I have to do the right diet. I have to do the right workout. Can you see? One thing I'm saying, have do, right? Because that's my
it
health.
brings us to can do.
Can do. And then have what are things I need to have. Now, because I need to do my 10,000 work, I had to buy. So there's a need to have a thread mill in the house. So I bought a thread mill and I figured out the most amazing hack. So I have 5,000 contacts on my WhatsApp. So it's overwhelming to respond to messages. But I realized that since I got the treadmill. I can be on the treadmill and respond to messages. So before you know it, I'm doing 1 hour, 30 minutes on a treadmill. I don't even realize that. So I'm just chatting people, doing work, and I come off and I see like 12,000 steps. Right? So you see how, so that's the thing about templates and framework. Once you have a framework, you start, the tools you need to be found on the way. Right. So these days, my office isn't far from my house. I don't drive to the office. I probably just tell my driver to drive, and then I walk to the office. Because I'm trying to meet 10,000 steps. Yeah. But guess what's happening? I'm actually walking, and you'll be shocked at the people you meet. I met Moyo. I don't know if anyone knows in PBN. He was my next door neighbor. I didn't even know in my estate. But because I'm taking a walk. He's driving and like, oh, you live? I said, I've been living like 4 or 5 years. So start the tools you need to be found on the way. People should just start, but have a framework. The Be Do Have, I would spend on Saturday, I'm going to break down this Be Do Have. It's one of the most amazing tools for planning, both as an individual and as a corporate. What are the things you want to be in the 7 wheels of your life? What are the things you need to do for each of the B's? And what are the tools you need to have? So I need to have a treadmill to do 10,000 walk so I can be healthy. Health. Right. So if it's spirituality, what do I need to have to do to be? I need to have a prayer group to do more prayer so I can have more spirituality. See, like there's a template, and you can do that for your business structure. What I think you need to be do have. I spent 10 years teaching corporate restructuring. We're going for a brainstorming session after this. So I really want to share a lot of those thoughts. Anyone who's listening, you've got to be there on Saturday, right? If you don't win the slot here, just send us interested to the number, and I'm sure we'll be willing to give you a discount.
Please, the number again.
Just say interested for the breakfast session in Eko Hotel, the brainstorming mind mapping strategy session. Just say interested to the number 080-3520-2891. 080-3520-2891.
All right, I've got this question. Any advice for executives making plans and setting goals for the new year?
The first advice I would give is cut corners, join a community. Yes.
Hack it.
So that's like a shortcut.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So why PNB?
PBN.
No, why PBN? Sorry. I say PNB na Buhari. PBN.
That's top to bottom.
Yes.
Nah, we don't want to do top to bottom.
But why PBN?
PBN because there are other communities, there are other clubs, there are other places you can meet interesting people. It could be a sports club or a prayer club. But PBN is dedicated to executives. So you come and you meet like-minded people, peers who work hard, also play. People with whom you can discuss ideas, who would tell you things as they are, because you can't say bullshit to these people.
Yeah, careful language. Go ahead. Yeah,
sorry, excuse me.
It's all right.
But yeah, you meet your kind, you meet your clan of people in PBN.
Interesting. Go ahead.
Why not PBN?
Oh, okay.
To be honest, because see, this community is so different, and I say that because you met founders in different places, and everybody is forming like they've built the world. In PBN, she's built a lot of stuff, and she's just sitting right next to me, like
and
casually.
I'm proud of her.
And that's how it is in PBN. Like you sit with people who have built some amazing things, and they're just very normal people. There's no you don't feel like you have to be something else to be there. So it's a place where people are willing to share, people are willing to give help, people are willing to be there for each other, people show up for each other. So it's an amazing community for business people, and I think it's one of the best communities that I've been a part of as well, like you said.
I also want to add that, everywhere I go and they talk about me as a female founder, I hear that one of the issues that
you're one of the founders.
I am a founder, of my
Okay,
business, female business founder.
All right, okay.
And increasingly I hear that, females find it difficult to network because they can't go to clubs late, can't stay out late, you've got a family and all. PBN is your best shot. At PBN, if you want to hang out till late, you will. If you don't want to, that's fine.
I take my wife whenever I go to PBN.
And we're open to women to come to join. We're filled with fantastic, powerful women, and you will find your own clan. So if you have, found it difficult to network elsewhere because it's just not your lifestyle, PBN really is the place to be if you're a female founder. But it's for everyone, and it's sector agnostic. We've got DJs. I was just chatting with one yesterday that I have an event coming up. Can you? He says, "Oh, I don't do it, but I can get you someone." That's how we are, and we have everyone. We've got actors. We've got bankers. We've got
I saw Dr. C.
tech
that big thing.
innovators.
I thought he was a performer. Dr. C. I thought he was a performer. And I realized that he was a member.
We have
MC
members.
Lively was a member. He's actually a member as
Crazy
well.
member,
And the Nollywood guy, he's in show now.
Damien.
They're
It's
amazing.
an
So
amazing
you have
group.
all sorts. It's like you can find the guy to fix your refrigerator. You can find the guy to serve you tequila shots. Like he's like it's an amazing.
There's no disparity.
Yes, it's an amazing.
All right, let's look at this question that I have here. This one says, can a company grow their revenue through community partnership? If yes, which one, and what do you think they did differently from what others are doing?
Of course, 100%. It was Bio Wave Beach.
Oh, okay.
Who was saying last year that please, because this year we started a paid membership. So as much as we refer you, if you do pass the criteria, you then pay membership fee to join, right? And Bio was like, how much is it? $500,000? I'll pay. Because
Wow.
PBN has been instrumental to the growth of my business. And because Bio is a PBN member, if I want to fly, the first thing I think is Wakana. It's just how
Yeah, 'cause
the
the
team
MD, he's
works.
also the MD of
It's-
Wakana,
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
how, and he's also the MD. So it's just how the team works. When I want to hang out, I think of Grey Matter because one of our members own Grey Matter. So it's just how it works. Like, everybody thinks of each other's business first. So we have a theme. One of our thing is members eat first. So we must think of a member's business first before you then think, oh, if they can't do it for me, then I do it somewhere else. And I've hired for a lot of PBN members. They've given me money. And
Nice.
How far now? Make a semaza.
All right, so community is very important. That's what I'm getting from this right now. So we've gone back to when we were younger, and the community will raise you. Now this is like the community raising each other, supporting
Yeah,
one another.
absolutely.
All right, let's look at this. A fintech company, for instance, what basic strategy do you think they can use to break into a market using community partnership?
Okay, so first of all, I think tech companies need to learn what Apple did, right? And people think that Apple's biggest revenue comes from selling iPhones. Yeah, there's 1 billion iPhones in circulation, right? 1 billion. I think there isn't a lot of product that sold 1 billion units when you're not Coca-Cola, but here's the key thing. What they've done is to create, people don't really realize that the whole Apple thing is a community thing, right? You're on iTunes, you can stream songs, you can listen to other people's playlists and all that type of stuff. And tech companies need to be intentional about creating tech communities, right? As a side, like, it's not just enough that you have a business, right? Everybody in that business has to have like a community. There's just a lot of case studies around that. Have your own community as a freemium, not even as a service, right? As a freemium. Oh, if you buy this, right, you will be able to do this. The biggest mistake of all time was Henry Ford. At some point, Henry Ford, the guy that still owns the Ford company, Ford is still one of the biggest automobile companies in the world. He was for over 20 years the richest man in the world. He's like what Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk is. Somebody advised him. This was when 3 out of maybe 4 car in the world was a Ford car. That's how no one's ever owned that type of market share. And they said, why don't you own a community for your Ford cars? I said, what does that mean? Buy up all the empty parking spaces in New York and in California. This was like almost 100 years ago when they were in high skyscrapers. And he said, why? He said, so that in the next 30 years, these places would have high buildings and you're going to have a problem parking. If you've ever gone to Marina, I go to Marina, I don't even drive, I just take an Uber because you can't find a parking space around those areas. And here's the interesting thing. I think that advice, he didn't take it. And years later, he fell off like that, But what were they trying to say is, so that if I'm going to make a decision to buy a car, I'll know that if I buy a Ford, it comes with complimentary parking space. Like a community. Like, that's genius. Like, and people are not thinking that way. Like, in my head, I'm saying, oh, what can I do? I'm business and management consultant. I wish I can say, oh, if you do business consulting with us and restructure you, you get a complimentary, right, partnership or membership to PBN. I remember thinking about it. I talked to Bola about this and say, okay, how much is it? $200. I will pay for my clients. First of all, my clients, I'm sure most of my clients will pass the metrics. I mean, Felucia is the MD of iFitness. Ogulesi is the MD of Rough and Tumble. Those people will pass those criteria, right? And we say, okay, no, don't worry. So I'm charging you, but I'm giving you something free. It's called freemium. The malam on the street does that. You want to buy suya, he cuts a small suya to give you to taste. How many times do you eat that suya and take a walk? You most times will just buy. So people need to give more, and one of that more you need to give is a community. I would expect, like, look at the biggest bank in Nigeria, I don't want to even give free promotions here. Does a food festival, does a fashion festival. That's a community.
yeah.
try and get a slot to
they're
sell
getting
something. You
better.
now hear that you need to get that at the account
They're getting
as a
better at those
criteria.
things than banking.
I think, yeah, I think they should close the banking and face close to business. Actually.
I didn't call no names.
Jabs.
I didn't call no names.
Jabs. I didn't know I was sitting down with boxers.
I think I also want to say that
Yeah.
my business is built around community. Aggregating pharmacies was to create a community. Now we've got 3 active communities. One is FinTech for Health, where you actually join to be a member of what we call My Advantage. And based on that, you get free health care or you get free medication every month. So you join and subscribe. We've also got a community, a growth hub for pharmacists, because many of them are struggling with their small businesses, and they now can lean on us for structure, for sales optimization, and for just building systems. The third is a community for young pharmacists. We found some pent-up energy, and they weren't so happy with coming out of school and getting out there, and the world was different from what they were promised.
Yeah.
What do you do with the structure for Vim blasting and Vim? Those things just were not relevant to them. But creating that community, it is 5 years running now. We're starting the 6th cohort. And what we've seen is that they're so innovative now. They're so ingenious. They're seeing that working around tech and working around themselves, they are solutions providers. I think all businesses need to create communities where possible in their businesses, whether you're small or large, whether you're tech or not tech.
I mean, I think the CC Hubs really did a good one with building up this community culture in tech, because the world has really moved now to communities. Collaboration is the new competition. Everybody just knows that. Instead of you to build something new, use an API. Someone has built it, collaborate. So communities are really the way, the future now. Nobody, you don't want to build silo products, because the person using your product can use my product. So why are we competing with each other? Yeah.
It's even got a name. It's called Community as a Service.
As a service, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So, as a CEO or co-founder, has there been a point where you could not achieve a goal because you neglected community partnership? If yes, what is your advice to upcoming execs?
Don't be an island. That's just what I'll say. Don't be an island.
Yeah. There's a particular former president in this country who, in my own opinion, he's probably the smartest president we've ever had.
I know the person.
Right. He's an amazing, still alive.
Yeah.
And I think about his peers. He's a military boy, right? And you know the military boys. I'm like, how did this guy fall off the crack? Like, he's not as relevant as maybe let me just say, not as relevant as an OBJ. Right. And something hit me. I spent nights in Abeokuta, right? OBJ's hilltop. And one of the things I realize is when people retire too early. I mean, this guy I'm talking about has a house outside, like to when you get to this town, you have to do another 1 hour tour just go to his house. That's isolating yourself, right? That's isolating yourself. Like, if the devil wants to deal with you, he takes you out of your community, right? So that's it. For me, I always say this guy is still alive, but not as relevant as it is, because he didn't stay in the circle where people are. I've seen a lot of Igbo people do this, right? You have a business in, let me say, Alaba International. You make money and then you leave Alaba to live in Banana Island, but your business is still there. You're isolating yourself, because when price goes high, go low. Do you know what it is to move from Banana Island to Alaba International? It's a problem, right? So a lot of businesses, BlackBerry, for example, BlackBerry should have still been in existence if BlackBerry opened up the BBM to non-BlackBerry devices, which was what Android used to knock out BBM, right? We forget that Android came and we all moved to WhatsApp came. Sorry, not Android. Yeah. WhatsApp came, and because WhatsApp was, for me, I would always say that WhatsApp killed BBM. Right. First of all, why do we always need this so much restriction? Remember, you want to get someone's number, you get his number, you get his BB pin. Yeah. So I'm cramming number, I'm cramming pin, right? And so sometimes you've got to be able to know when to open up yourself to other people. Sometimes bring down the walls. Bring down the walls.
And it's something that happened last year within the whole horrible bosses period. Yes, it happened with 2 very popular people, but you could tell the difference with one person
and the way he handled.
And the way that people were able to just keep quiet, speak for him, because this person has also been a person who's built community, who's built up people. It's difficult for you to, if a boss has been nice to you, no matter how horrible you hear of him tomorrow, it's difficult for you to then just backlash and join. But if you don't have that support as well from other people, good or bad, sometimes it's good, it's bad. Community can be good they can also be like, you know what I mean. But it's a great thing.
All right, let's look at the PBN. Seems to have a lot of good PR, and I'm guessing not everyone can get in.
Not everyone.
Like you said,
To be honest, not everyone.
Good. So, who is an ideal PBN member, and how can interested people gain access to this community? Is admission currently ongoing?
That sounds like school.
Gang, gang.
Don't mind me.
So I'll answer the first one. Who is an ID PBN member?
Yeah.
An ID member is a doer, somebody who is building stuff, or maybe not necessarily. You're an exec. You're innovative in whatever field you're doing. You're doing amazing things. You're not just waking up doing your 9 to 5 or going to your business and closing shop. You are building things. You're solving problems, so to speak. So a doer and a community fit. Emphasis on that later, but yeah.
All right. You want to add more?
I like the fact that I haven't thought about it like the avatar. What's the avatar of someone? I think the person has to be a doer. It has to also be a thinker and also a dreamer. I think there are three sets of people. If you're not one of them, you know that you're in. Actually, you need to work hard. It's like you're either dreamers. When dreamers meet thinkers and thinkers meet doers, dreamers, thinkers, doers. Those are the three triads that make up a great organization. Some people can't do. Right. Some people can't do. Right. Some people think through. We have, like, for example, people say you built like what? How many businesses? 100 startups. But how many have you built yourself? Right. Some people are not designed to own. Some people just want, like, don't let any motivational speaker make you sound like that you're not doing well with your life because you're not an entrepreneur. You know, I think they say that no, you cannot be rich working for somebody else. It's a lie. Look at the Forbes list. There are employees on the Forbes list. Employees. Like there are people, Paul Allen and all these guys. Some of them did not find these companies. I mean, the current MD of CEO of Google and all those guys. But here's my conversation, right? At any point, right? And it's not always. It doesn't have to be a PBN. It can be your neighborhood community. You're living in an estate. You're not part of the estate association, right? You're not a member of your church. You're just sitting on the bench, but you're not even. Just do something. You love children. Be a part of Sunday school. Right? It's really how this life works. Remember, the difference between you now and the next 10 years is the people you meet and the things that you know. Nothing changes a man's destiny more than knowledge and people, right? And people should be intentional about that.
Okay. So in addition to this, we're very particular about Africa and African growth. Oh. So members are pro-Africa.
Yep.
Even if you live in any of the 21 countries where you have we have members all over the world, in Africa, outside, you know, you must be pro-African. You must have a voice for growth. Yeah. I wrote something to my team yesterday when we were talking about our culture. And we're going through a 6-month series on the culture in Advantage Health Africa. I said, look, Africa is not an orphan. It's not an unwanted pregnancy. It's not a forgotten continent. If God has divorced us, He will let us know. Yeah. We are meant for greatness as well. We are meant for greatness, and we are on that path. We're on that journey. And I believe in Afro-capitalism because I have been, close to someone who promotes it. And the point is, Africans can solve African problems. Yeah. Once we are, we carry that self-concept. That we're not weak. We're not, we're not only helped when we have half-baked, interventions and token interventions. Yeah. We can solve these problems. And you find that many PBN members have a voice. Yeah. Diverse areas. We have a voice. We're pro-Africa. We're pro-Nigeria. Mm-hmm. We're pro, doing things that Black can, be proud of wherever we are.
I'm really glad you guys came in this morning. I think it just opened my mind to something different, most especially because of her as well. Because she mentioned something a lot of pharmacists have lost their way, most especially when you come out of school. Yeah. They promise you so much, and then you become a rep. Yeah. You start repping drugs from left, right, and center. It can just mess up with your psyche. But thank you so much for coming.
Jude, I can't believe you're a pharmacist.
I know.
book. I don't know book.
I think they learn.
Someone said something to me. Said one of the best talents you can get are pharmacists who don't want to be pharmacists.
Oh yeah.
I agree. They're dogged. They're strong.
Jay-Z was a pharmacist. People don't know that.
Yes.
Fun fact. He sold drugs. He sold crack in the streets.
We're going to round up here, but before we do, quickly the phone number for people who want to be involved.
All right, so the breakfast session is on Saturday, the 14th of January, right? To attend, just say interested to the number 080 08035202891. I said that again, 08035202891. You can come as an individual, you can come with your team. Don't be the smartest person in your team.
All right.
And also for everyone interested